Hello and welcome to another pen video from me, Penultimate Dave. So I have here another currently inked video and I have 10 pens inked up. So I think let's go through these pens one by one and we'll then do a writing sample. So from left to right we have the Visconti Homo Sapiens Corsani 90, the Visconti Corsani Octagonal, the Scribo 2 in the Noble Green, the Scribo 2 in the Cardinal Red, the Scribo Fill, and this is in the grey-blue finish, and the Scribo Fill in the blue-black finish, a Molteni Blue Lucents Modello 55S, an Omas Arte Italiana Paragon Grande, an Omas 360, and a Pelikan M800, and this is the Ocean Swirl. So let's go through these pens one by one. So this is the Visconti Homo Sapiens Corsani 90. And this is made of the stacked celluloid, and this is a pen that unfortunately is no longer available. I did see one actually for sale on the second-hand market. It hit one of the Facebook fountain pen groups recently, and it sold within minutes. It was, or at least from what I saw, it sold within minutes. It was a really quick sale, and these pens are really gorgeous. I have my initials on here. But you can see here the material is absolutely stunning. As you rotate this around, you can really get it to shine a lot. So this for me is a really nice pen. I'm glad I was able to pick it up when I was able to, and this comes with a 23 cat palladium nib. And this nib I have on here is a 1.3mm stub nib. And it did originally come with a medium nib, but I swapped it out and I have really not looked back since. I really do like this nib. It writes exquisitely well and I love the line variation. So this for me, the Corsani 90, is a beautiful pen, and I do love these stacked celluloids. It's a power vac filler as well, so it holds a lot of ink. And then we have its sibling, which is, initially I was told that this was a Homo sapiens, but normally I denote a Homo sapiens by these two bands on the cap, and this does not have that. However, it again is a Corsani, and it is the octagonal. Well, it's a little bit of a play on words. It's the OCTA 90 NAL, and this is from Stefano at Silograph Corsani. Now, this version is not round, as you can probably see there, and it is faceted, and it's actually done in the same facets that the Brunelleschi is actually done in. I think it actually makes it look quite nice, although it does hide some of that sparkle, but you do see it there. So this one actually has quite a lot of dark areas in it, but when it sparkles, it really does sparkle. So again, I have my initials on there. It's a power vac filler, and this one I wanted a 1.3mm stub but was unable to get it at the time, so I went with the next available sort of width in nib, and that was a broad nib, and it's a 23 cat palladium nib. And again, I do like how this writes. So for me, this really is a lovely pen, and if I put these both side by side, you'll be able to see these here. In terms of the size, they are actually pretty good. You can see how that stacked celluloid really does sparkle. And then I have a few other Scribos that are inked up. So I have 4 here. So this one here is the Scribo 2, and this is the Noble Green version. And this is a version that I really like, and this was a exclusive with Wright here in Shrewsbury in the UK. And this is a resin, it's not a celluloid material, but it is a gorgeous material. And Scribo have just recently released this one in the feel as well, and I really like that. But I believe that they're already sold out at most retailers now. So this is a really, really good size for me, and I love that it's a piston filling pen as well. And I also love that it has this Omas OM81 nib, and this is a gorgeous nib. It's basically the Omas Extra Flessibile nib. So if you have ever heard of that, or if you have tried one, you'll know what I mean, because it is quite a flexible nib. This is a medium nib that I got on this one. It's a 14 karat gold nib, and I really do love how this writes, and I really want to add more Scribos to my collection. And then we have another Scribo 2, and again this is a right here exclusive. The red isn't quite as chatoyant as the Noble Green, so this is the Cardinal Red version, and again it has a 14 karat gold medium flex nib on. It's a piston filling pen as well, and you can see here in the size of my hand, but also if I zoom in you'll see that medium 14 karat gold nib there, and that really does write well. So I cannot praise the Scribos enough, because the writing experience, if you're into wanting a really good bouncy writing experience, the Scribos are where you need to go. What I would like to see is some celluloids coming in, and maybe that will happen at some point, or some more exotic resins perhaps. And then these were the two Scribo Feels, and this is Feel F-E-E-L, or F-E-E-L, and this is both faceted, but also you can see this hourglass effect. So I have this one inked up as well, and again I'm a sucker for these 14 karat gold medium nibs. So you'll see here, again, it's a 14 karat gold medium flex nib. And again, it's the OM81 nib. What I might try to do actually is get some fine 14 karat gold nibs. I've tried the 18 karat gold, and although it is still a bit flexible, I don't think it's as flexible as the 14 karat myself, although I know other friends actually suggest otherwise. But for me, I do like these 14 carats, more so than mediums, but maybe I will try a fine nib. And then we have this, and again this is a Scribo Feel again, and again I'm a sucker for these bouncy, flexy 14 karat gold nibs. And you can see there, that is a beautiful nib. Now, it is easy to spring these nibs. I have not done so myself, but I know a number of people that have. I know Gary at our London and UK South Pen Club has managed to spring a Scribo 2 nib twice, and I think he had either an extra fine or a fine nib. May have been a fine nib, and he managed to spring that twice. So you do have to be careful with these. Although I will push these a little bit, I don't push them hard. I just do a little bit of flex. I really want these nibs because of the bounciness of them, and they give a little bit of line variation. So I tend to love to write with these Scribos. They are beautiful writers. And then I have this Molteni, and this is the Modello 55S, and it's a blue Lucians, and I picked this up from St John's Pens at the London Pen Show, the new spring show in March 2019, and this really is a beautiful material, and you can see there's a translucence there. So this actually is the blue Lucians material from Omas here, and then the cap is actually made out of the blue Royale, which again was a material that Omas used, and they turned into a number of pens. But again, this is a piston filling pen, and this pen just writes exquisitely well. So if I show you the nib here, this is an 18 karat gold medium nib, and it looks very much Omas-like or Omas-esque in terms of the feed there that you can see, and it writes very much like an Omas nib. And to be honest, these Moltenis are using Bock nibs, and the Scribos are the nibs were actually made by Bock, so it's actually not that much different, to be honest. But again, that is a lovely pen that I love to write with a lot, and I have inked up again this week. And then I have, and this is a pen that I have been writing with a lot, and I'm so glad I was able to buy this. This is the Omas Arte Italiana Paragon Grande. Now, I got this from Thomas at the London Pen Club. I probably paid a little bit more than I probably should have done for it, but at the end of the day, I really wanted this pen, and unfortunately, it did have a bad nib on it. The nib was clicking a lot. I managed to take it to John Soroka in the UK, our nib smith, and he managed to fix the nib for me, and now it writes beautifully. So thanks for that, John. You really did a good job on this nib. And you can see here, the Arte Italianas have this sort of gold coloured section. It's actually a silver and then plated gold, but you can see there that nib, and again it's an Omas style nib. You have that ebonite feed, and it's a medium nib, but it does write very well. So I'm having a lot of fun actually writing with this pen, and as you can see there, size of hand, it's really, really good. But I do love this material. This Arco material is absolutely stunning. So if I just show you this here a little bit more up close, you'll see this, just how well that Arco material sparkles. So it's a beautiful, beautiful material. And strangely enough, there was one day where I never liked the Arco, and it's grown on me over the years, and now I have a lot of Arco. So, and I probably will add more Arco as time goes on. And then we have this Omas 360 that I picked up, and I picked this up about a year ago. It's this lovely sort of very dark grey. It's a push-on cap, but it's triangular in shape, and I thought this would be a very difficult pen to hold. It also has not only an Omas nib there, but it has an OM nib, and that OM stands for oblique medium. And again, I thought that would actually be more problematic for me to try and write with, but it's actually quite a comfortable nib. So for me, I do like this pen. It's a very wet writer, so it does go through ink very quickly. It's a piston filler as well, but I've always wanted an Omas 360. I kind of would like to pick one up in one of the translucent colours if I can at some point, but for now I have this grey version. And then I have this Pelikan M800, and this is the Ocean Swirl. And this had a lot of controversy around it because everybody thought when it was being launched that it would have all this lovely green all the way around the pen, and it did not, or most pens did not. Now that doesn't actually line up at the moment, but you can get it to line up. There you go. So it lines up a little bit better there. So for me, this doesn't bother me in terms of having dark areas. The whole point of this is it's an ocean swirl, so there are sort of dark areas and light areas of the ocean, and for me this really is a lovely material. And this comes with an 18 karat gold nib, and this I got a broad nib on because I'm not that much of a fan of the Pelikan medium nibs. So I got a broad nib on this, and I really do like how it writes. Now these Pelikan M800 nibs tend to be on the stiff side. They're not like an M1000, which is actually quite bouncy. But at the end of the day, I like these. These are good, solid performers and solid writers. Maybe at some point I will go back to using medium nibs on these, but for the time being, I'm actually using broad nibs. So that's the 10 pens I have currently inked. So let's do a writing sample. So the first pen we have here, we'll do an ink swatch first, and then we'll write the pen name and then the ink. So we have some of these may hard start a little bit because it is a very hot day. It's 30 degrees here in the UK, and I've had these pens uncapped for a little bit whilst I've been showing you them. So this is the Visconti, and it's the Homo sapiens, and it's the Corsani 90, and it is a gorgeous 1.3 millimeter, and it's a palladium nib. Now the ink in here is diamine, and it's majestic purple. Now I do find also that this ink is a little bit sticky, so it can actually sort of have a few more hard starts than other ink. So that's something I always do have to be aware of with this particular pen. And I find this with Diamine Majestic Purple in a lot of different pens. And then here we have another pen, which is inked up. And look at this lovely blue. Okay, so can you guess that colour? Let's see if you can guess it. So this is the Visconti, and it is the Corsani, and it's the octagonal, but it's actually a play on words, so it's octagonal with a 90 and then NAL, and it's a broad nib and it's a palladium nib. And the reason why this is because it was a 90th anniversary, so hence why they wanted to have that there. And I think 90 was also the 90 it came out initially, but 90 was also the house number, I believe, of Silograph Corsani as well. So the ink, have you guessed the ink yet? It's a Pelikan ink, and it's an Edelstein ink, and it's a really lovely topaz, and this is a colour that I do love a lot. I used to love Konpeki from Pilot of Oshizuku, and now I love this ink. So the next pen here is a Scribo, and if you've seen this on other currently inked videos in the past, you'll know that I always have this ink inked up. So it's the Scribo 2 in the Noble Green, and that's a little bit of a sticky part of the page there. And this is a medium nib, and it's a 14 karat gold nib. And the ink in here is Ackerman, and I really do like Ackerman inks a lot. It's a Dutch Masters, and it is Van Huysum's Sapgron, and this is a lovely sort of meadow green grass or summer grass colour, and it's a colour that I do like a lot. And then we have another Scribo, and this is a lovely red ink to really match the redness in this pen. So this is a Scribo. My hand oils there. Actually, I think that's actually running out a little bit as well. Let me just check this. Yeah, it is actually getting quite low at the moment. Let's see if I can continue using it and not run out of ink. So it's the Cardinal Red, and it is the medium nib, and it's again a 14 carat, and it's a gold nib. Now the ink in here is Ackerman Dutch Masters, and it's Scharlachen Van, starting to run out now, Van Jan Steen. It's right on its last legs there, so I'm going to have to ink that up because I have been writing with it a lot this week. I probably should actually ink the pens up a little bit more prior to doing the currently inked, but I always think that I've got enough ink in them, and then sometimes I find out that I don't. So this is the Scribo feel. And this is a lovely ink. I like this a lot. So it's a Scribo feel, and it's the grey blue, and it's a medium 14 karat gold flex nib again. Now the ink in here is Pilot Iroshizuku Kiri Sami, and it's a lovely grey. And that one I have just inked up actually prior, because I realised that that was completely out of ink, along with this Scribo as well. So this one I've just re-inked back up again. And I was wondering whether or not I should actually just put a different colour ink in there. And I thought, well, no, this is the ink that I've been using lately, and it's an ink that I do like, so I decided I would just re-ink it up again. So this again is a Scribo fill, and this is the blue black version, and again a medium 14 karat gold nib. And then the ink in here is a new ink that is in my collection, or newish ink, which I thought I would like, and then I didn't like it when I inked it up. And now I'm starting to like it again, because it's a bit of a teal colour. So Iroshizuku, and it is Ku Jaku. And I think I have a few other inks, like Sayo Ro from Pilot Iroshizuku, so I might try that next. And then we have this Molteni, and I am very soon going to have to buy another bottle of this ink, because I am starting to get very low on this ink. So it's the Molteni, and it's the Modelo 55S in the blue Luchans, and it is a medium, and it is an 18 karat gold nib. And the ink in here that I have dedicated to this pen that has not changed, KWZ Gummy Berry. So I will definitely be getting more of this ink, because and strange enough, I used to buy 2 or 3 bottles of the same ink at the time, but now I don't, because I've got just have way too many bottles. I have over 270 bottles of ink, and that's full-size bottles. But I will have to pick up another bottle soon. So we now have this Omas, and this is a nib that I had improved or fixed lately, and it was just that the tines were rubbing and it was clicking, so we had to sort of pull the nib off a little bit and reseat the nib on the feed, and now it's writing perfectly. So this is the Omas Arte Italiana, and the Arte Italiana is the ones where they have a silver or gold section colour, metal section, and this is the Paragon Grande, and it is a medium, and it is an 18 karat gold nib, and the ink in here is one that I put in a lot of my Arco brown pens, and it is Akamon SBRE brown. And then we have the Omas 360. Now normally I put a grey ink in here, but lately I've been having quite a few grey pens, so I decided I would actually change this and go with a completely different colour. So this is the Omas 360, and it is an oblique medium nib, and it's an 18 karat gold nib. Now the ink I put in here was an ink that I had not used for some time, and I do like it again. It's Pelikan, and it's an Edelstein shock horror, and it's aqua marine. And that again is an ink that I like a lot. And then there's another ink a little bit similar to it, which is in this pen, and this is the Pelikan, but this ink is a little bit more on the lighter shade, so they're both sort of a greenish teal ink. So we have a Pelikan M800 Ocean Swirl, and it's a broad, and it's an 18 karat gold nib, and then the ink is a lovely diamine ink, and it is Eau de Nil, and it's just an ink that I do like a lot. So let's take a look at these pens here and the inks. So we have a Visconti Homo Sapiens Corsani 90 in a 1.3mm palladium nib, inked up with Diamine Majestic Purple. We have a Visconti Corsani Octagonal in a broad nib, in a palladium nib, inked up with Pelikan Edelstein Topaz. We have a Scribo 2 Noble Green in a medium 14 karat gold nib, inked up with Akamon Dutch Masters Van Huysum Sap Gron. We have a Scribo 2 Cardinal Red in a medium 14 karat gold nib, inked up with Akamon Dutch Masters Charlaken Van Jan Steen. We have a Scribo Fill in the grey blue finish with a medium 14 karat gold nib, inked up with Pilot Iroshizuku Kirisami. We have a Scribo Fill in the blue black finish with a medium 14 karat gold nib, inked up with Pilot Iroshizuku Kujaku. And then we have a Molteni Modello 55S in the blue Lucents, and that's a medium 18 karat gold nib, inked up with KWZ Gummy We have an Omas Arte Italiana Paragon Grande in a medium 18 karat gold nib, inked up with Akamon SBRE Brown. We have an Omas 360 in an oblique medium 18 karat gold nib, inked up with Pelikan Edelstein Aquamarine. And then we have a Pelikan M800 Ocean Swirl in a broad nib, 18 karat gold nib, and it's inked up with Diamine Eau de Nil. So there you are, that's my currently inked for this week. Thanks for watching, please like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you on the next pen video. Bye bye.